Everything well with the sound? Yes. Okay. Nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Alex, web and mobile developer from MobileGeneration. So we'd like to see many people here. We're kind of very happy that we got so many. We've kind of expected, to be honest, more, but it's still something, to be honest. I'm a mobile and web developer from MobileGeneration, as you can see here. And today I'm going to speak about a topic which we believe is quite important for design, and especially small startups that are just starting with design and are not professional designers and don't have anything in mind what design means, and pretty much has zero clue how to draw something in Flutter. So we're going to speak about this. So the main topic is going to be material tree design, which is the most futuristic approach and the easiest user interface design that you would like to extend your knowledge and how to make it much more unique and still good looking, even if you're an amateur. So starting by what is material tree design, I'm sure most of you are familiar, maybe looking here, all right? I'm sure most of you are familiar with what it is and how to implement it. It's just the simplest design system integrated in Flutter, and is giving you out of the box many features, included like filled buttons, show snug bars, elevated buttons, many dialogues, whatever you think of, which is very necessary for Flutter. And if you'd like to integrate it in your code, it's very simple. So you just pretty much have all the needed designs that we're gonna dive already in our application. And you can just simply copy paste all of the code and it's gonna be already integrated within your system flow and way of working. So let's switch to the next slide. So this is like the base of the code that you would like to need in order to start ongoing with this. So basically, you know, all the counter apps that are just starting within. So it's just nothing implemented already. And within your main.file, file, you just gotta plug into this for your return function. So you just define it as a material app, and you can define both properties theme and use material tree, set to true, which is going to immediately invoke the theme and all the material design 3 applications that you will be easy to use. So especially when you don't have any budget, you won't need to hire a professional designer for you. You just have 3 lines of code and you're permanently done. So what does an average situation looks like when you have a small startup and have a client that needs a very professional design, but pretty much you don't have anything in common and you don't have zero knowledge about it? So usually a client comes in and says, I have a very good idea of a design, and I want to do this application that does this and does that. I want magnificent design. And we, as a MobileGeneration company, we completely agree about it. But the most horrific problem that they say, but I don't understand anything about knowledge. I cannot hire you a designer of Figma, so you have to figure out yourself how to do the design. And at this point, we figure out that they don't have any money, which is like the main problem for us. But since we have the material tree design, we're going to resolve it immediately by looking up to this application. So apparently this hasn't been done by us, so it's nothing custom. This is like provided by the Flutter documentation, which all of you can find in here. So we see this is a web app, but this is also you can find it available both for Android, iOS, also web. So we will show it on web, how does it look like. And you can see all of the different widgets and different buttons, different tabs, chips, whatever you'd like to see and to use just to make your design look cool. Everything is around here. Just get it and plug it on in your code and you're completely done. So let's just show it on some code. So when I open here, so we see this is the exact documentation of Flutter. So apparently it's also using the material tree design. So you can see everything around here is very futuristic, very unique look. So it's having all the components and all the widgets that are necessary for the design itself. We have every explanatory steps, how to start it, how to use it, whatever, you know, how documentation is looking like. We have the develop steps. We have it for Flutter, web. We see also the different styles. So pretty much this is the pure documentation of how we shall use it. And we're going to see also some latest release notes of how it is evolving, because it apparently started from Material 2. So this isn't the latest, this is the latest Material 3, but we've seen also the Material 2 before, which is kind of really old looking and not very probable for now. We can also change the design teams, and we can see how everything is flowing, so it's kind of looking really, really cool. And we see the Material 3 app itself. This is the web application, which we see all the filled buttons, we see the different icons, we can change the colors from here, and we really, really see how everything is looking much more futuristic, especially when we have zero knowledge about design. We can really gather something from there and just copy paste it, and it's immediately integrated into our code. So when we, let's say for example, if I'd like to change the color, you see how everything is like magically changing within just one click. So usually something that we've done when we especially meet up with our clients, we're just letting them decide what color would they like to use on their app. And later they choose, let's say, I would like to be pink, and we're just leaving it like that. But at the beginning, we're already just leaving all of these functionalities for them to decide. For example, I can also toggle the brightness. I can make it dark, white. You can also see the different colors being on secondary, being on how is it going to look when an error shows up. We can see the typography and all of the titles that are being displayed from largest to smallest. We would also see the elevation, which is like the shade of color itself, how dark from lightest to darkest. And when we switch to, we go on components and we go on Material 2, you can see how everything is changing, this is the old version of the code, so you can really, really see how everything looks much more digital and static, and it's really not great looking. It looks like it was made 2010. So yeah, we really hope Material 4 is going to be like really 3D and futuristic. So yeah, you know. So when we switch to Material 3, you can see how everything is much, much preferable. And let me just go here. When we open the code, so this is the source code of this web application. Let me just zoom it a bit like this. For example, if I'd like to see, let's say, some snack bar, let's say like this, I can see that it is currently being used here in this class. So this is called color box, so color box class. And if I immediately like something from here, it's really, really easy. So it's always like within a class defined where you can just pick it, copy paste, and it's immediately done. So if we really like some component and some widget, you just copy and paste it and you forget about everything else. For example, if I look for a chip like this, we see this color scheme view, which it has all the properties and everything that we've been needing to integrate it in our app. So it's just pretty easy, because when you have zero knowledge design and you can't afford to, let's say, have a Figma license design and stuff like this, you just go on this, copy paste whatever you like, and it's immediately invoked into your code, because as you know, Flutter is quite flexible on this, and you can immediately start going very, very further without the need and the expense of a design, which is a very problematic thing, especially in the smaller startups. And which we believe is very important to use at early stages when you're a small startup and we're just starting, so you're just a team of developers. So yeah. And this was apparently the way how to integrate Flutter with Material 3 design, which is going to help you much, much with your presentations. Thank you very much.